got a Planeswalker down there, and I think it might be a real good Planeswalker against Wilson's deck. Got ourselves an Ugin.
And here's an issue, you know, when you're paying costs in speed for quality, which is really, at the end of the day, what Rowland's up to. He's playing with awesome threats, but they're a little bit slower to bring to the table. Your matchups against decks like Esper Dragons get a lot worse because they can answer kind of anything you put to the table. The pressure is on how fast you can get to the board. And if you're not making plays until the fourth turn of the game, which is going to be the case for Rowland a good percentage of the time, you're going to get chewed up by counter spells and utter ends and so forth.
Slumgar Scorn here in Korey's hand. He's got at least one Shambling Vents down there with his lands. There's also a Haven of the Spirit Dragon down there. That's why you see him kind of looking through his graveyard, see if there's anything to return. There's been a Dragon Lord which got exiled, so he can't get that back. Though it is unclear exactly what Korey's working with in his graveyard at this point. McDuffie looks like he's going to fire up the old vent here. Perhaps.
I mean, he can fire up the vent here, hope that he gets a block out of Rowland, use Ugin to finish off Tasigur. I would describe it as unlikely to work. But
well, it's worth a shot, right?
That's 2 points.
You get game 2.
Take my 2.
Yep. Ugin going to move on up to 7. Wilson going to take 3. And that appears as though that'll be McDuffie's turn. Rowland going to activate Tasigur, so he'll turn over 2 cards. One's an Abzan Charm, the other is a Sarkhan. And there are the options. One thing that his deck is not short on is power.
Oh, yeah. There are a lot of really good individual cards in this deck.
Yeah. I don't think Korey wants to give him Utter End for relatively obvious reasons. So it looks like I'm going to give you an Abzan Charm back. You can have that and draw 2 more powerful cards potentially.
The deck is also weirdly aggressive as well. You got Kolaghan the Storm's Fury, Dragon Lord Kolaghan, and Siege Rhino, and Woodland Wanderer, and Sarkhan. So it's not trying to sit on its hands all day long. This is a deck that's trying to pressure you.
Tasigur looks like it's coming into the red zone. We'll just have to see if it's going to go towards Korey or if it's going to go towards Ugin. Looks like it's going towards Ugin. Ugin going to fall down to 3 counters. There's the Wooded Foothills. Rowland will sacrifice that, fall down to 12. And I think we're going to have an Abzan Charm here in just a moment. But boy, the power level of this 4-color mid-range deck is, boy, it's up there.
Yep. I mean, there's no stinkers in this list. The issue is just, you know, it's speed. He's got 4 copies of Rattleclaw Mystic, and that's very helpful, but if he does not have Rattleclaw Mystic, his draws are probably going to be a little clunky.
We're going to start with a Tasigur activation. Another Tasigur and a Sarkhan.
You get Tasigur.
I think someone's, yeah. Korey not wasting any time.
Just stop right there. Just put that Tasigur in your hand.
Get this show on the road. You get that thing. We're going to head back McDuffie's way. Looks like he's picked up another land here. Maybe we'll see Korey hang back here with the Shambling Vent now.
Time in round. That's time in round 2. Active players finish your turn. Plays
I don't think there's a lot to be gained by hanging back, unless he's just looking to chump. If he uses Ugin to Lightning Bolt, Ugin is still out of range of a Tasigur attack next turn.
Out of range with a Tasigur attack by itself. In combination, Tasigur plus Abzan Charm counters.
It's a risky play, though, for Rowland to make that.
Very true. Very true. Another Tasigur activation. Crackling Doom. Siege Rhino.
Now we're hitting the point where everything Rowland's flipping over is gravy. There's no easy handouts here.
Yeah, this is getting really hard. Because I think if you're Korey, you're probably supposed to give him what, Crackling Doom?
I don't think you can give him anything proactive. Like, given the state of McDuffie's hand, the fact that that Ugin rather is not going to be around for very much longer. Okay, going to go with Sargon. I suppose anything that he puts on the table allows McDuffie to simply get the Ugin back
With the Haven.
Yep. Minus and clear out the board.
Okay. There's Flooded Strand. Pass it back. McDuffie at 21, Rowland down to 7. Rowland is accumulating some very powerful cards in his hand right now, though. Radical Mystic was the draw. Maybe his worst draw in his deck outside of land, as far as power level is concerned.
I don't think Rowland minds lands at this point either. He's got a lot to do with his mana.
Bunch of mana for Sarkhan. Up to 5. Going to Ugin. Ugin will bite the dust. Korey's found the play pattern that he wants to take.
Yep.
Yep, he's going to very quickly sacrifice the Flooded Strand. Go down to 20, get a land out of his deck, and I think we'll see Haven of the Spirit Dragon return to Ugin here in just a moment.
I don't know if that was the best way for Rowland to use his mana there, because I think he may have left himself in a spot now where he cannot activate Tasigur on the way out. Oh, no, excuse me. No, he's got plenty of green.
Yeah, plenty of green. Ugin going to come back, duress the draw. It looks like that's where Korey may begin. Well, I said now we're going to see Ugin. I think the elevator is going down. Here's a Tasker activation. I'll have to tap mana for that, of course, which is important to note. That activation is not free. Kolagon and Siege Rhino. Those are the reveals. Curious to see what card Korey wants to give me. I had a feeling he might do this. Say, give you a Crackling Doom, kill your stuff, duress your Crackling Doom. Now you see the hand left over here.
And it's a hand that, on the table can answer the Ugin, if Crackling Doom is selected.
Yep. So there goes the Doom. And now we're going to head back Wilson's way. A lot of good options there, but no direct answer to Ugin just yet. I believe another Rattleclaw Mystic was the draw there. Wilson trying to play for a draw here in this instance. Korey trying to hang on to a 1-0 win. Maybe get a 2-0 win.
But Rowland can be fairly precise here with the second Tasigur. He can strip down his graveyard to the point where it is, just Crackling Doom and Sarkhan, let's say. Just stuff that kills Ugin right on the spot.
Hope the Tasker activation goes
exactly
correctly.
And it's not even like Rowland's position is that bad if he fails to kill Ugin this turn, but you would prefer to get rid of Ugin right now if you can.
Oh, time to delve away some things. Couple of Rhinos and friends left in the graveyard. See what comes next here for Wilson. A lot of options. Gonna play Rattleclaw Mystic. Has another Mystic in hand, also Abzan Charm too. Looks like he's just going to pass the turn back with the ability to activate Tassiger or Abzan Charm, what have you. McDuffie will draw. Didn't get a great look at what Korey picked up.
A little surprised by the deploying of Rattleclaw Mystic that turn, since it's an easy target for McDuffie to plus. I suppose Rowland's concerned enough with his life total that he's willing to make that trade.
Put a little bait out there.
Yeah.
It was a disdainful stroke that McDuffie drew. So we know Ugin's going up to 3. It's just what's he going to target? Is he going upstairs or is he taking care of Rattleclaw Mystic? Then again, Korey does know about Abzan Charm there in Wilson's hand. So you try to take care of Rattleclaw Mystic, he just puts 2 counters on his creature. You don't even get anything done there.
Well, Rattleclaw's a 2-1. This still plays
Oh, no,
around
pardon me.
fine.
No, excuse me. I'm
Still
sorry.
plays around it fine.
No, you're right. I apologize. 2 lands. Probably just going to give him Rattleclaw back. Yeah.
And this is the other issue with playing Rattleclaw Mystic that turn. It's not just, okay, well, now there's an easy target for Korey to bolt. It's also, now your next Tassiger activation is a lot worse.
It's turn 1 of extra turns.
And arguably, Rowland should have responded to the Ugin by using Tassiger.
Yeah. Korey McDuffie trying to hang on here for dear life. Here comes Tassiger. Gonna go after Ugin. Shambling Vents looks like it's gonna get fired up and do a little chump blocking.
It's going to be very challenging for Rowland to win this inside the allotted time.
Yeah, Korey's at 20.
20 going to 22. And Rowland's hand's not that good, to be honest. There's a couple Rattleclaw Mystics and an Abzan Charm, so.
Here's a Tasker activation. Sarkhan and Murderous Cut. I think I know what he's getting.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this is another issue with Rowland's line here. If you knew he was going to activate Tassiger regardless, you do that up front. Suddenly giving Murderous Cut to Rowland's pretty rough. Korey loses his Ugin in that sequence. He may have to give him a totally different card.
Yeah, there's just some out of order sequencing here.
Yeah.
To be sure. There's Rattleclaw Mystic. There's another Mystic. Pass the turn back. So it's going to be turn 2 of extra turns now.
And now this is a very good window for Korey to minus the Ugin. And unless there was something going on with that mana, those Rattleclaw Mystics simply could have been morphed. Now you're not exposed to Ugin's minus. He can only bolt one of them, so you go into your next turn with a Rattleclaw Mystic.
Mm-hmm.
Got something going on.
Jace the draw there for McDuffie. McDuffie will have turns 2 and 4. Wilson Rowland turns 3 and 5. And there might be some real interest here in minusing Ugin.
I think so. You know, it's maybe a different conversation if the game is still in the air. We don't know what the circumstances are. Korey's still playing for the win. Now with playing for the draw, it's just do whatever you can to make sure you don't die over the course of the next 2 turns. There's not a whole lot you can do to protect Ugin at this point. You don't have the resources to do it. So just protect your life total as much as possible. Force this attack to go to Ugin, and then give Rowland 1 turn of attacks and Siege Rhino triggers or what have you to try to kill you from 22. Not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, fairly unlikely. And with Korey already up a game here, you know, you play for the draw in this game, you walk out of the match with a 101 win. Murderous Cut's going to take care of Jace. Korey did have the ability there to cast Disdainful Stroke on the cut, but that's not too relevant on that.
Yeah, all that is worth is it's a chump block, basically. That's the only thing that Jason's going to do in this spot. And I think that McDuffie would rather save it for, I don't know, some huge, awesome play that Rowland can bring to the table.
Yeah,
so,
who knows what?
Siege Rhino or Sarkin or who knows what. Exactly. So I like Korey just letting it go here.
Tasker has finally finished off Ugin. What's the follow-up here for Wilson Rowland? First, it'll be a Tasker activation. Crackling Doom and Windswept Teeth are the cards that are turned over.
Probably going to be Utter End, I would guess.
Look at you on the A game.
What Korey is saying is, I dare you to deal 22.
No.
So any card that does not forward that goes to Rowland's hand.
Turn 4 of extra turns. Korey going to play a Shambling Fence. He'll pass the turn back very quickly. 22 ain't happening here.
No.
I don't care if he's Taylor Swift. Ain't dealing 22.
How long have you been sitting on that one for?
I'm not answering that question. Down to 6 goes Wilson Rowland. I'm just glad it finally came up.
Rowland here going to try to make every effort to deal 22 this turn, I suppose. If I'm Korey, I'm just like, you get every card in your graveyard. Just to draw.
You get a self-inflicted wound.
Get a murderous cut.
Yeah. I'm at 18. And that's going to do it. Korey McDuffie is going to walk out of this match with a 1-0-1 win. Esper Dragons will take care of 4-color mid-range. For McDuffie, he's off to a good start here this weekend. Former Open Series champion is 2-0 here with Esper Dragons.
And, as far as I'm concerned, the question for this deck is just how much Atarka Red is there going to be. It's a challenging matchup, and you can do some work on the sideboard, but the matchup's never going to be great. I think Esper Dragons is a great choice against the 4- and 5-color mid-range decks that we've seen thus far. There's a lot of them in the room in general, and Rowland's doing a different thing, but there's a lot of Jeskai Splash Blacks and Abzan Splash Blues. We see those kind of decks. I think Esper Dragons is excellent against all of them. The question is just, can you avoid Atarka Red frequently enough? Because